Hi Video Fitness Coach friends, this is Anita Stone with another episode of 15 Weeks to Fitness. I'm going to do a review today and show you on my whiteboard how you should be writing down your food in your food diary. If you haven't started yet, you'll need to go buy a spiral notebook. Buy a regular 8.5 spiral like you used to use in school, and you'll make 4 columns on the page, and each page will be for one day. The first column will be the food you eat. The second column, how many calories each of those foods have. The third column, how many grams of protein. And the fourth column, how many grams of fat. And so you'll write down everything in each column on every food every day. Now the only problem that you'll run into is some food that doesn't have a food label. Every food, for example, bread, you can look at the label on bread and it will tell you how many calories, how much protein, and how much fat that slice of bread has. But what if you eat something like an apple? An apple doesn't have a food label. So you will need to have one of those little paperback calorie books, which you can buy anywhere. I bought one, the last one I bought was 35 cents at a used bookstore. You can get them at Walmart or Walgreens or something like that, or you can look it up on the computer. When you look it up on the computer, you need to be very careful though, because sometimes they'll tell you a certain food is so many calories, and you've got to really look and see if that's the portion that you actually ate of that food. And so after we write everything down for the day, this is what we're going to do. We're going to total everything up at the bottom. And so my calories should be, if I'm a normal height, I'm just saying 5'5" is normal, 5'5" to 5'7" is normal. Your calories should be 1,100 to 1,600 per day. You may not want to have every day 1,600, just trying to stay under that 1,600, because if you do that, and you don't know where your range is between this 1,100 and 1,600, depending on your activity level and your metabolism, you may actually be gaining weight. Okay, so you need to have some low days and some high days, and then as you keep your pages, you will find as you go week by week where you need to be to lose the most weight. Now 1,100 is really low. 1,600 is pretty good, and so like I said, you can have a lot of 1,600 days, but if you're just barely hitting 1,600 every day, what I think is that sometimes when we keep our charts, we make mistakes. And so when you're putting down your calories, I know, I do it too, sometimes you'll write down fewer calories than what you really ate. And so leave yourself a margin for error, okay, because you will make mistakes. Now, if you're taller than 5'5", you want to add 75 to 100 calories per day per inch taller you are than 5'5". And again, everybody's life is different. Some people are active, some people are sedentary. So this will depend on you. And you have to keep several weeks of these pages to find out where your calories should be so that you're losing 2 to 3 pounds per week. Your protein, right here, this column, should be 60 to 100. Okay? I have over 100 per day if I have a really extremely rigorous exercise schedule. So you can even have over 100 depending on what you're doing that day, but minimum 60. For fat, 15 to 30 grams per day. You can go over 30, but if you do, you're probably not going to lose weight very fast. 15 is really low. It's very difficult to stay at 15. So that's why I've given you that range. If you can stay under 25, you're probably going to be losing weight on a regular basis without any problem. It's going to be dropping off every day, every day, every day on a consistent basis. And no more than half of this should be saturated fat, and preferably less than that. But as far as the American Heart Association guidelines go, no more than half is recommended as saturated fat. So this is your review. If you have any questions, please send them in to me on the blog or send them in on my comment form on the website, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time for another episode of 15 Weeks to Fitness. Have a fit day. Bye-bye.